Come with me as I get some Christmas time DIY and homemaking done around the homestead. In this video, we are going to be doing a couple of DIY Christmas projects that I'm making for some family and friends for the holiday season. Starting off with these soy candles. I will leave in the description box down below the kit that I got off of Amazon, so if you guys are interested, you can check that out down below. And these were really pretty simple. It was my first time ever doing this. I had never made candles before. It was a pretty easy system of just a water bath on the stove with a thermometer to keep track of the temperature of the wax. And also throughout this video, you will see me working on a couple different homesteady things, one being some sourdough. I'm really trying to keep a loaf of sourdough going pretty much at all times, either it be for us or for my in-laws or my parents, just to keep practicing and keeping my starter healthy and fresh. So you'll see me sorting that out periodically throughout this video as well. Once my wax was at 185 degrees per the directions that came with the kit, I added the scent. One of the scents that came with the kit. I made 2 batches of this because I needed more wax than I thought that I did. So the first batch was a clean cotton scent, and the second one was like a Christmas pine smell. I just picked the ones that seemed more Christmassy to me. And then I let those sit for probably 3 or 4 days before I cut the wick. I think the directions said to let it sit for 24 to 48 hours, something like that. But I left mine for probably close to a week and just set them somewhere safe and just forgot about them, and they set up perfectly fine. And if you wanted to, you could add some ribbons around the rim, or if you do different size containers, you can add pine cones or holly berries or anything like that, and these will turn out to be a super cute Christmas gift. The lip on these jars weren't exactly big enough for me to do that, but that's okay because the basket that I'm adding to will have enough Christmas flair in itself. And you'll also see me here just working on some apple pie. It was my first apple pie of the late fall, because we're technically still in late fall, early winter season, and I really love a good apple pie, and I haven't made one probably since last fall, if that. I don't even think I made one last year. I will leave down below my own personal recipe for the apple pie that I'm making and my no-fail pie crust. I remember growing up using my grandma's pie crust recipe when I first started making pies and baking, and I hated it. I remember hating it so much. It was dry, it was crumbly, you couldn't roll it out, and it was the most frustrating thing when all I wanted was my dough to stick together, and that's exactly what this one does. It's a great consistency. I love it. Simple ingredients. You throw it all in the food processor, pulse it all up, add some cold water, and you have a great dough for your pie. The last little DIY that I want to show is another one that I have not done before. I was feeling really ambitious this year, trying to make some handmade gifts, and this is just some embroidery, because why not? Try it. Learn new skills in your free time. It's always fun to learn something new, and this is something that's always interested me for quite a while, and this was really fun for me to do. All I did was buy an embroidery hoop and some embroidery floss, embroidery needles, and tried my best. Pretty much it worked out conveniently because I knew I wanted to make Christmas trees on these towels, and I thrifted these from Savers a little while back, and this has like a gingham striped pattern on it, which worked out really well because I could center the towel. I have a straight line to work off of for my tree, and it just kind of worked out for me to just hop in there freehand and get some thread going and make a pretty decent looking tree. And I will say I do have this sped up. I am not going this fast. You will see in a later clip that it's much more slowed down, and I did definitely take my time. I did 2 of these in one sitting here, and it took me about an hour. Not a terrible amount of time. I added some light green thread, and I finished off with some white thread to kind of represent snow a little bit and to use for the star as well. And this kind of stuff is totally my jam. Something tedious like this where I'm sitting here for a while and meticulously working on one specific thing is definitely good for my brain, and I can really sit here and focus on a project like this. And even though it was my first time doing it, I basically kind of checked Pinterest and had a general idea of what I wanted to do and just ran with it, and I think these turned out so cute. And just at the very end here, I'm showing you how I'm planning on putting these DIY projects together for some friends and family. I have this thrifted wicker basket that I got from Savers, and also this thrifted cutting board that I already also found. And I'm just taking some, I'm blanking on the name, but it's like a potato sack consistency ribbon, and just tying that around the handle of the cutting board here. There's a book in there also on charcuterie 101, stuff like that. I also thrifted that. So this entire project was so fun and so easy, and I think it's just such a heartwarming gift. In this basket, eventually for Christmas, I will also add a fresh loaf of sourdough. I had just made a loaf, so I threw that in here for the aesthetic of what these baskets will look like. But I love how this project turned out. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out the links down below for the candle kit and also for my apple pie recipe and my pie dough recipe. And I will see you in my next video.